So, invite, copy link. Good morning, Cora.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Great. How are you?
Doing good. Doing good.
Good. I've got some interesting news. I can't wait till we get everybody on the
Oh,
call
nice.
because I'm kind of excited about next week's guest.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
I certainly enjoyed our last guest. He was a lot of fun, and
He
he
was fun,
had
right?
great information to share.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. He was really nice. And our next person is going to be really interesting. We just have to figure out how to take advantage of what she's offering. Okay. So Sangeeta has joined us and Alex is here today. Good morning, ladies, or good evening, lady. Good evening, Sangeeta.
Good evening, Kristen.
All right. Let's see. Now I've got, let's see. Oh, let me make sure I shared the link to join there on YouTube. That's good. Okay. Yeah, great. So, oh, is Thomas there? I just saw his little name flash by. Oh, hey, Thomas. Hey, Thomas. Hey, Tommy. Hi. That's so cute. There is a little cat that lives downstairs. I don't know where she lives, but all I know is that she's so friendly. She's one of those cats that when you talk to her, she's like, meow, meow, meow. Hi, meow. How are you? Meow, meow, meow. So damn cute, man. It is so cute. And the thing is, so I go out without Apollo because with Apollo, she runs away because he's crazy. He chases cats. But when I go down there without him, she just runs over and she's all about getting rubbed and loved. She doesn't have a collar, so I'm really, I don't know if she belongs to anybody, but she's so cute and soft and sweet. And she's got that fluffy fur, that fluffy fur. Oh, anyway, so I'm excited about her, but I'm also a little bit nervous because, look, my apartment is my sacred place, and my apartment is really clean, and I do a really good job of managing hair or fur, pet fur. There ain't no fur anywhere in this apartment. My dog, he gets bathed, he gets brushed, the house gets vacuumed. He's not allowed on any surfaces except the ground. So I love him. When I want to cuddle with him, and I cuddle with him at least 3 times every day, I get on the floor with him and rub him, hug him, love him. But he is not allowed on my furniture, and he's okay with that. He's a Greek street dog, okay? He's all right with just living in the house, and like not having to be on the furniture. He's not spoiled in that way. So anyway, cats though don't have those kinds of boundaries. Like it's not going to happen. So she would have to put up with number one, getting groomed every day, which she probably would love. Cats kind of really love that. But also, my couch is a nice couch. Those cat claws in my couch, I don't know. Where am I going to put a cat tree for her to scratch? You see what I'm saying? Like, there'd be some limitations I don't think she could deal with. Just saying, that's why I don't think I can take on the cat. Just saying.
I have a friend who's got these two cats at home, and she's just gotten one of them shaped like a tigress, like the tail like a tigress and all.
Yeah.
So the other one refused to recognize that one, and she was like hissing at her all the time. It was so interesting to see that.
That's just like a cat. You cut your hair. I don't like you. I don't like that haircut. No. That's funny. Actually, though, if you're going to get the cat, the ideal cat is one of those hairless cats, which are so ugly. They're so ugly. Oh, God bless those little things. They ugly. Okay, so ladies, good morning. Good morning. So I want to tell you first my news about what we're going to do next week. Now, um, there is a woman that I met at the dog park, and it just so happens that she lived in Italy, in Florence, on top of it all. And she's a life coach. She doesn't live there in Italy now. She just was there for 6 months because her partner was doing a school exchange. So she got the opportunity to live in Florence for 6 months. So that was really cool, wonderful to connect with her. Turns out she's a life coach. But she's not really a life coach as much as she's a career coach or something like this. Now, the reason I want her to talk to us is because she is coaching women who are artists and, if I'm not mistaken, entrepreneurs. They She has a grant, something like the grant she has access to is something like, it's millions of dollars, and she can she's going to give us information about that grant. And she's also a coach, and so she can talk to us about her coaching stuff. But the thing is, I believe that all of us could possibly qualify for a grant to further our business, to further our businesses, our projects, our endeavors. We need to listen to her to find out. So the thing is, if I'm not mistaken, it's an art and entrepreneurial grant. However, I think she tends to work more with artists. What I need you all to think about is how you can see your work as art, just in case I'm wrong about the entrepreneurial stuff. Okay, just in case I'm wrong. Let's say that I'm wrong about the entrepreneurial stuff and she's only really offering this grant to artists. My question is, in what way can you be an artist? Ashley Amix is clearly the exception here because she's clearly an artist. She's a graphic designer, she's a painter, whatever she does, she's got her thing, right? Ashley what will qualify, right? So this is definitely something that Ashley Amix can consider. However, I said to her, I'm a writer, I'm working on a book, can I apply? The answer was yes. Now, all of us here are writers. We need to, though, and this is now an opportunity for us to expand our thinking and um, to embrace our writing in a more serious way. Here's an opportunity for us to get support for our art and our vocation. Sangeeta sees herself, she knows she's a poet. She knows it, right? Cora's an author. Ashley, Gemini. Are you an author? I know you write, but do you have a blog? Do you have are you you're writing a book. You're doing videos. Tell me, remind me.
I'm writing videos, blogs, poetry, book reviews. Like I think
Mhm,
one of my new channel ideas is Read With Me, where I
mhm.
read and analyze literature.
Come on.
So
See, all of this to me is artistic stuff in action. Okay? Alex, I know is developing. Alex, I know you're developing your business. I can't remember do you have a blog established yet?
Ah, sorry. I am working on it, but I've been doing a lot of writing. I'm basically a writer, a poet. I studied sociology, so I like doing research too.
Okay,
And
well,
yeah.
look, so this
Mhm.
is exactly my point. And Cora, I know you've got your professorship, and so all of this kind of stuff and all of this kind of stuff is going to give us the opportunity to um, receive again that support that we desire and need, right? That we are calling in, and an opportunity to get paid. Okay, so our our guest's name for next week is Katie McCleary. Katie McCleary. And actually, Cora, she reminds me of you. When I was talking to her, she's an Aries, and she's really fiery. She's super cute, super fiery, really fun. I'll give you all her website right now so you can check her out ahead of time. It's Paper Wings SCC, S as in Sam, cat.com. Paperwingsscc.com. Wait, I'm going to copy it. Hey, did you guys know that if in the chat that you can save the chat by clicking the three buttons, the three little dots over to the right of where you enter the chat? Did you all know that? I didn't know that. I thought the chat was gone, but it'll download it to your computer. So at the end of a session or before you sign off from a session, you can click the three dots, and then it opens up an option to save the chat. And then you can have any links that we put in, um, anything that's copied or pasted into the chat. All right. I'm excited about next week. So 7 a.m. here, um, as usual, we'll be on for 1 hour and 15 minutes. Okay. And that's about where I'm going to be keeping these sessions, from an hour to an hour and 15 minutes, just because I got to get the dog out. The fact is, this dog, waits for me patiently, but I got to get the dog out. Um, and of course, life duty calls. Okay. So today we're going to talk about money. Who has a budget? Show of hands. Who has a budget written out? Okay, I see three hands, and one, nah. And then two, I can't see what you guys are doing. I don't know what Ashley, Amix, and Alex have.
I'm getting there, but
Like, mine's
Yeah.
kind of a comma, kind of.
Kind of a comma. Excellent.
I have
don't
a
say
budget for
comma,
my own
but
expenses in general, but I don't really have a budget for the project because I'm not currently paying for things for the project. I'm like, it's the two of us just doing it with our time rather than our money.
Yeah. Yeah, this is good insight. You know what's really hard for me? I'm going to be really honest with you. It is so hard for me to budget, and it's really hard for me to separate my business from my personal. And one of the reasons why I liked living in Italy is because every time I talk to an accountant in the United States, they say you must separate your personal expenses from your business expenses. I went to Italy and every accountant said, "What? Put it all together." What are you doing? But put it all together. You get one account and put it all together. Just write it all down. I'm like, yes, that is my mentality, right? So loving the Italian way. And that's how I do it. But, when your business gets really big, you really do have to separate. And especially when you start having um, supplies for home, supplies for work. If you have a brick and mortar business like Cora does, it's imperative that you do separate the two because, when it comes to filing your taxes, you're going to file, well, I don't know, Corey, you're on a farm because you're really working from home, but are you working from home because you have people coming there to your farm? The farm has its own set of expenses that are outside of the normal expenses. This is a big deal. This is a really big deal. Last year, I got hit with a huge tax bill. I had to pay over $10,000 in taxes, which is a lot, but that's what happens when you start making a shitload of money and you don't have enough investments to offset it. So, one of the things that you want to do is know what you need money on. So, what will you need money for, where your money is going. So, what I'm going to have us do today, and you can do part of this for home fun, but um, I want us to write out our budget, meaning to be mentally accountable to every single thing you spend money on. Now, this is going to obviously take you some time, but it's something that I recommend you do seriously if you aren't already, because when you are relying on yourself for money, you're not relying on a business to pay you a paycheck. You basically are saying, I own my own shit. I take responsibility for my own shit. And we know that money is energy, but all of a sudden, when you have your own business, it's not a joke, what you spend money on. Your money's not a joke. Your energy's not a joke. You're self-reliant. No one's going to take care of you. You need to have your shit together. You need to make really good decisions. So we want you to have a solid standing so you know where your money is and where it's going, where it's coming from, blah, blah, blah. I also want to make sure that I, as a seasoned business owner, um, throw out some ideas to you about what you would be spending money on as a business owner. I'm a coach, and so I can really only talk to you from the perspective of um, being a coach, being a blogger, and having a website, um, and these kinds of things. So I'm going to give you all of that. I've also had a brick and mortar business, so I can talk to you about things that go along with that as well. Like your bottled water delivery, like getting bottled water delivered to your office on a weekly basis or bi-weekly basis. Having your sheets, professionally laundered and pressed so that your clients have a great experience when they come in. Um, the oils, how to this is what I had. I had a wellness studio. So we had so much overhead. My overhead every single month was $12,000 as a base. Do you know how many massages and facials you have to do in order to have an overage of $12,000? We only had 3 rooms in that place, and yet we brought in consistently $20,000, $22,000 a month. It was fantastic. We were very, very, very efficient and good at what we did. So, we had a lot of success, but it was a lot of work to do that, and it required a lot of understanding of where your money is. And depending on your lifestyle as a small business owner, when you let go of the paycheck, you are going to need to make sure you're bringing in the money to cover your paycheck. right? So, I know I'm talking a lot, so I want to stop for a moment and just pause and let you all give your feedback on what you understand or any questions you have or anything that's just coming up for you as we're talking about budget. How do you feel about this stuff, ladies?
Well, for me, I actually, I kind of come with a team. So the biggest part of my budget is feeding everybody. And actually, I'm pretty good about budgeting my money in the sense of, with my college classes. I know specifically how much I'm getting paid, what date I'm getting paid on. So I do sit down every month and make us out. I have a little budget I save in a spreadsheet. So I've got what's due, the date, how much, and
Mhm.
and I run that total, and then I have the totals of how much we have that much, how
Yeah,
much is left over, and then I
perfect.
have a whole list of pretty much everything I buy for the animals and the times and
Yeah,
all that sort of stuff. So that's the biggest part of budgeting for me. And then the next biggest thing would be improving stuff on the farm, things like,
yeah,
especially like fencing and their shelters. And so I know that in order for me to, once I get to the point to where I'm making enough money, I'm going to have to start hiring people. So, trying to figure that into my budget is a little daunting. And then
yeah.
just trying to figure out how to budget my pricing, if that makes any sense, to try to, because,
Mhm.
ultimately my goal is to not work for the man teaching classes. I want to be the man doing everything.
Mhm.
And so,
Absolutely.
I'm just so I know this is a little limiting, but now I'm just like, if I can just figure out how to match those paychecks, and then so I can get rid of that and then open that space up to just to have more, if that makes sense.
Exactly. Exactly. And Cora, one of the things that killed me in business, and once I caught on, it changed everything. Like when you're buying things in small quantities, it costs you so much more than when you're buying things in bulk. I remember when I got these labels made for my business, I had a beautiful logo and I got some labels made. And the guy said, yeah, you know, um, it's like $1,000 to make, uh, 800 labels, which means that each label, and they were a nice size, each label costs about $1.25. And I'm like, whoa, okay, $1,000, like that's a lot of money though for me to, just to open this business for some labels, pay $1,000 for some labels. And then they showed me, he says, yeah, but if you order 2,000 labels, you'll pay just $1,200. And I said, what? So 1,000 labels is $1,000 or eight, whatever. Then 2,000 labels is only $200 more. And he said, yeah. And if you get 10,000, it's only 1,500 bucks. And I'm like, wait a minute. And this became the moment I awakened to the power of making a budget and investing in the long term. One of the things that I realized I thought when I first started my business, I didn't look beyond a year. I was there and I'm like, well, what if I don't make it? What if I don't survive in this business? And I thought I'm going to buy, 10,000 labels and have 10,000 labels, and 10,000 cups and 10,000, all these things are going to be left over, and I'm going to fail in a year. And so what that attitude was doing was making me think really small and making me spend a hell of a lot of money, right? So, and not getting as much value for my money as I thought. When I had that conversation with the label maker, that's when I realized that I have to assume that my business is going to be around forever. I said, this is going to become an institution. Therefore, now that I know I'm going to be around forever, how many is it a waste to buy 10,000 labels? And the answer is, yeah, no, of course, you're going to need these labels, you know? So that became my motto: buy in bulk, get the best pricing, and all these kinds of things. The thing also that I realized though was that all these little things would come up and they could nickel and dime you to death, right? They can take away all of what you're earning. So this is another reason why, again, today I want us to get as much written down as we possibly can so that we can become aware of the potential little things that can steal our energy, steal our money, and hold us back from moving forward. And we'll look at all that in a few moments. I want to give you all another opportunity to throw in anything just in case you want to there. Anybody else with input? Questions, comments?
I have a little bit of, I don't know if it's input or a question or a comment, but when I first designed my business cards, I don't know how many hundreds or if it was 1,000 that I purchased, but I found that the second and the third time that I printed them, the design was a little bit different. Like, it wasn't so much that I didn't see myself continuing to do this for another 10 years. It was just like this is my first business card ever in life.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I'm only going to order 500 of them, and then
Yeah.
I've like changed things. And
Mm-hmm.
so what would you say about that? Like, especially, hi, my name is Ashley and I'm a Gemini and I love to change my mind.
Okay, look, this is okay. So the thing, that's such a good question, and it's such a good point. And here's my response to that, Ashley. My response is certain things in your business need to be established and they need to stay consistent for the sake of your business, okay? And for the sake of your customers and for the sake of your brand, all right? But here's the other thing that I did. When I design my logos now, what I do, instead of having one solid logo, I have fluidity around my logo. So what I had my last two people do was to design actually not logos, but illustrations. And so what they would do is they would illustrate an entire story for me. And what I did was, after I saw the designs that they gave me, I pulled out the thing that would stay consistent within the framework. And then I could change the illustration as I wanted to. I could take that one element and put it in different things, and it would always be recognizable. Does that make sense?
So you had someone illustrate a story or a theme, and because of the similar art style with all of those different images, by pulling from all of those different images, you still maintain the brand and the identity, but
Yep.
you still have some flexibility.
It gave me a lot of flexibility. Yeah, exactly, exactly. I don't have a lot of Gemini in me, but I am an air sign, okay? And so it feels really, really good to be able to change my mind and to have that flexibility, and also just to play and to be able to take the one thing that's consistent and keep its consistency became a wonderful challenge for me, you know? And so, yeah, so like, you'll see me if you're in my programs, you'll see this a lot. um, there's me and my badass butterfly wings, but my dress is different colors. So I have a gold dress, I have a pink and blue dress, I have a green dress, I have an all pink dress, right? So it's kind of really fun. Yep, I get to be girly, I get to do things the way that works for me. Is there anything else before we start getting into some of these categories? Any other comments, questions? All right, let's do it. So let's take a moment to think about income. Okay, so the first part of any budget really should begin with your income. So why don't you take a few minutes and write down the sources of income that you have. And gosh, there's this thing that keeps popping up for me. Are there any, I think I'm just going to throw this out here for you all to think about either now or later. But I'm wondering, the question that keeps coming in for me is do you have any hidden sources of income, like that you don't realize, that kind of come to you in ways that you don't necessarily know about um, consciously, but they show up? Like, oh, I got paid for painting a neighbor's house, or, I um, every time I play bingo, I win $8 or something like this. Are there any kind of extra sources of income that happen to you occasionally? Your tax benefit, your tax return, I mean. And income you really should indicate all your sources of income: child support, allowance, trust fund payments, anything that comes to you in the form of money. Christmas gifts from grandma, Hanukkah gifts. Birthday gifts. All right. Now here's the thing I want you to think about. Actually, let's have you all close your eyes for a moment, because I want to give you a lightning strike of a blessing. And here we go. I'm formulating how I want to say it, so give me just 1 second. I challenge you over the next 30 days to bring in an additional $2,549 in between now and November 7th. To bring in an additional $2,549. I want you just to allow yourself to say yes to that. And then you'll figure out how to do that. There are many ways to do that. If you're a coach, or if you have something that you can offer, if you're an artist, if you take commissions, if you have a coaching program or something that you offer, go get a new client, go get a new sale, make a sale. If you can sell some things that you no longer need, if you can do a garage sale, do a garage sale. If you have something that's no longer serving you, if it serves you to sell it and get rid of it, then get rid of it. Clear the clutter. Bring in an additional $2,549. The reason I'm asking you to do this is, number one, it feels like it's important for me to ask you to do. That's one reason. The other reason is that we all need to know that we can bring in money when we desire it. It's one thing to go through your house and to get rid of things that you don't need and to sell it. That feels really good. But it's another thing to say, you know what? I have a client list. When I need money, I can go to my client list and take my wares to the marketplace. How does that feel for you all? How do you feel about this challenge of bringing in an additional 2,500 bucks? 2,500 bucks. How does it feel?
Well, to me, it seems like a whole lot given the scale of the commissions that I, potentially do. Typically, like the commissions that I do are on the scale of like $200 or something like that, and they take, a good chunk of time. Like I'm only charging like, $50, $70, $75 an hour more or less. And I do, charge by the job, but that's more or less what
Mhm,
it translates to.
mhm.
So, yeah, I mean, I'd have to be doing this like for the majority of the month, like every single day, like doing commissions in order to make this number. And that would leave me with very little time to work on my game. So I would need to do something else.
Ashley, what would happen if someone commissioned you and offered you a year-long gig to produce something that was, here's the question I have for you and everyone else. Here's the question I have for you and everyone else. How could you package your offerings in a way that would, number one, a couple of things. Okay. How could you package your stuff in a way so that you could have a bigger ticket price? And also, how can you package your offerings in a way where it's separated from time? So it is very customary for us to think in terms of 1 hour, $75 per hour.
Yeah, and that's advice that I've seen too, because if the larger client, then it ends up being more per hour because it's about what value they get from it. But
Mm-hmm,
but in
mm-hmm,
terms of what I typically deal with, this is what it ends up translating into.
mm-hmm. Very good self-awareness. And I think that here is the challenge to think a little bigger and outside the box. Hold on one second, ladies. Sorry. Holy macaroni. Hold on. Okay. So one day I was flat broke in Paris. Okay. Totally flat broke in Paris. And I'm like, let me just clear my mind because I couldn't get out. I couldn't stop being flat broke. I was months without making money, like 8 months, and not a single penny was coming in. So I was really desperate, and so I had to give up because I couldn't. My usual techniques for earning money wasn't working. Spirit was trying to show me something else, and so I finally gave up the ghost. And so I just sat and listened. And Spirit said to me, um, you need to start packaging your products differently, and you need to start seeing people um, twice a week. And I'm like, okay, let me just do what Spirit says, because what have I got to lose? So I started packaging my products differently. And instead of seeing people once a week, I started seeing them twice a week with these kinds of intensives. And then all of a sudden, I realized that really my income literally doubled. All of a sudden, there was a shift in me. And then people started coming to me from out of the blue, from literally, it felt like from out of nowhere, responding to this new thing that I had created. So, the reason I'm sharing this with you all is because sometimes we think that we have to be able to figure it all out. And what we're trying to do is approach old problems from an old perspective. And sometimes, if we just let go and let Spirit do it for us, we'll awaken to things that we didn't know, we didn't see, and things that might just come to us. So you all do not have to figure this stuff out. You do not have to come up with answers. But I do want you to do your best to relax your fears, doubts, and concerns and simply say, hey, I'm open to this new way of doing things. And here, I'll even relax it. If it doesn't come to you within a month, don't worry. It'll come to you in time. All you need to know now is that, hey, what if I could get paid more money for doing what I do? Because Lord knows there are people out there who are doing less than what I do, less quality, and making much more money at it. Okay, I can see it in my own industry. I'm sure you all can see it in your industry. How can we get a little bit of that? Let's just see what happens. Okay. All right. Now, so you all have your challenge. Let's see what happens there. Let's look at some outgo. Let's look up, we've got our income. Let's now look at our expenditures, our outgo. You all know what you spend money on for your personal lives. One of the things I want to throw out there to you is some of the stuff that you will need to spend money on if you have your own business. Okay, I want to just throw this out there to you. Let me hop on down here. Number one, let's see. Let's skip advertising. Actually, if I do this view, if I change this view a little bit, hold on a second here. If I change this view, I can do the outgo view. Nope. We'll do the master view, and then we'll filter out. I want to take out the basic living expenses, and I want to add in the business. Hold on. Sorry, loves. I'm just trying to find this is regular. Okay. Here we go. All right. So being, these are the expenses that I found in being self-employed, working from home, that have kind of thrown me for a loop. So I want to start off with those things, okay? Number one, technology and software. So Zoom, Skype, extra charges on your cell phone bill because you need a bigger data plan. Any type of maintenance that you do for your technology, purchasing new technology, new hardware, new phone, cords for your technology. If you have Apple products, you know that your cords run out like regularly. Any updates you need with that, cases, things like that, okay? Insurance for your phone, Apple tech support, things like that, okay? Then you have your software. So your email newsletter software like MailChimp. I use Sendinblue, Constant Contact, Aweber. Those things all charge. Do you all want to know prices on that, by the way? If you want me to give you insight, like what I pay for those things, do you all want to know that stuff? No?
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't hurt.
Yeah. Okay, sure. Okay, so for Send in Blue, I pay $60 a month. I also have an, I see. I have a subscription to SoundCloud. And so I pay $12 a month for that. Actually, okay, sorry. I'm giving you all, I pay yearly for everything so that I get the discount. And so I'm going to tell you what I pay per year, because if you pay monthly, you're going to pay up to 30% more if you pay it off monthly. Again, this is about kind of seeing your business in the long term. Is that your donkey? Wait, is that? Oh my God, Cora. What is, he looks so hyper right now. Is he okay? Oh, he's all chained up. That is hilarious.
He got himself wrapped around some logs, so that's why I'm listening and I can hear you. I'm just trying to get him unwrapped here. That's why he's
That is
acting all
hilarious.
excited bull.
Oh, listen to him. Okay, that is hilarious. Oh my God. You never know what you're going to get at Cora's place, man. Cora is going to always bring us something fun. All right. So per year I spend $720 for my email newsletter provider. For SoundCloud, where I like to put my podcasts and audio, I pay $144 per year. I use Airtable for databases, and that's $150 per year. I use an importer that syncs Airtable and Google Drive. That's $230 per year. Those are totally optional. If you guys know how to use Google Sheets, you don't need those kinds of things. But that's me. I don't know how to use Google Sheets, so I have to pay the ultimate price, you know, $500 a year because I'm ignorant. All right, whatever. Stock photos. I do a lot of publishing, so I need stock photos. I pay $350 a year for stock photos. Now, my website, for my website hosting, I pay $350 a year, plus I pay an additional $200 a year for protection for my website. All right, so those go hand in hand. For storage, cloud storage, I pay both Google and Apple. I pay Google $120 per year. That's for like a big storage plan, and then a little storage plan on Apple is $36. So that's $150 a year for storage, cloud storage. On Instagram, I use Linktree for links, right? So that's $72 a year to have kind of a little upgraded link tree thingy. I use Photoshop. I pay $120 a year for that. I was using Microsoft Word and the Microsoft Suite, but I've stopped using that because I've actually switched to Google, which is free. But I think for the Microsoft Suite, I think it's about 120. Does anybody know that for Microsoft? Nobody's using Microsoft anymore. Is that how it's working? Wait, Corey, are you talking to us? You're muted.
I think I just had to reorder that because my hard drive broke down, and
Oh,
I think I paid either $39.99 or $49.99 for it.
oh, for the
But I
year?
don't know
Okay,
for the
okay,
Microsoft. Sorry, I'm a little out of breath. But
that's
yeah, but I
okay.
don't know if I might have done it under the instructor one.
Okay, all right. So maybe about $100 a month, I mean, a year for Microsoft Suite. which would give you Excel and PowerPoint and all those things, right? For every domain name you own, right, in addition to your website, you might be spending anywhere from $15 or $12 up to $20 a year. So if you're like me and you have, 4 or 5 domain names, that starts to add up. That can start to add up to $60 a year, okay? I use Evernote for keeping track of stuff, my notes, so that's $50 a year. To run my classes on a platform, I use Teachable. That's $350 per year. To use Acuity scheduling, and of course, obviously, I'm an established business, so I'm doing all this stuff at the professional level. You can get a lot of these programs for free at the starter level. So, if you're just starting out, then you can consider that, but still you need to know where you're going because you won't be in a starting position for too long. The moment you get, 2 or 3 clients, you're now a professional. And so you got to start paying, right? So Acuity for scheduling, I pay $120 per year. For Zoom, I pay $156 per year. And for Zapier, I pay $240 per year. Are you all familiar with Zapier? Zapier is what you use to connect, to create like kind of workflows from one website to another website or one software to another software. So for example, let's say that someone signs up for your for an appointment with you on Facebook, right? They sign up on Facebook and you want them to go automatically into your email list in MailChimp. Well, you can create a Zap that tells Facebook, hey, whenever somebody books an appointment in Facebook, put that in this list in MailChimp, right? Or and Zapier works with thousands of different softwares to create connections between them. So if someone fills out a form over here and you want it to be entered in a class over there, and you want an email sent over here, then you can create zaps that tell it what to do. So it's a very sophisticated thing. It's very helpful. $240 a year for that. All right. Personal assistant or virtual assistant that works part-time gets $800 a month. Meals that you take on the road, you all have to figure that stuff out. Things though that you have to, budget for: retreats, meals, and of course, things like office supplies, paper for your printer, ink for your printer. If you're going to enlist a graphic designer, we have one in our group, by the way. If you need a graphic designer, you can call Ashley. All right. And she's looking for long-term commissions, and she charges about $500 or $600 per project. So just saying, okay. Boy, Ashley, we only need 4 people at that rate, 5 people at that rate, okay? Things also to consider: your banking charges really start to add up. So keep in mind that if you have a business account, if you actually open up a business account with your bank, they're going to charge you more money. They're going to also charge you to do online banking, things like that. All right. So make sure you are aware of those charges. Also, when you accept PayPal or any other credit card, there is the percentage that they're going to take out. So if you are charging $100 for an hour of service, keep in mind you're not getting $100. You're going to get $98 minus the $1 processing fee. So it's going to be $97. When you're making, $100 a month, you're like, $97 is okay. $3, it's okay. I can pay them $3. But keep in mind that if you're going to do this, to make $8,000 a month, 3 times, wait, how much is that? 8 times 3, that's going to be like $240 that's coming out of your pocket just to go to PayPal for using their services. Okay. That counts. It adds up. And it can be one of the reasons why we aren't doing as well as we think we're doing. Now, let's say you want to run some ads for your business. All right. You get to choose what your ads are going to, how much you're going to spend on ads on Facebook, YouTube, or Google ads. You would probably spend a minimum in order to really get really decent results. You would probably want to spend a minimum of $300 on a platform for running your ads. And I say $300 per platform is what you should expect to spend. So if you're going to run on all three, you'd run about $900. Or you'd spend about $900, but you can also do just one and do just fine.
And that's
All
for
right.
how long would the ad
Oh,
last?
per month. Per
Oh,
month.
okay.
Per month. Yeah. Yes. And of course, you would want to learn the right way to run those ads so that you're maximizing that. You don't want to just put an ad out there and let it go to millions of people. It's better, millions of random people. You want your ad to go out to thousands of the right people instead of millions of just everybody. Okay. Cool. All right. Those are basically, oh, and then your taxes. You must account for the taxes that you're going to pay, and you've got to figure out where your income is and what your tax bracket is. I'm in that really shitty tax bracket because I don't have any children. I'm not quite old. I don't have any wealth. I just have cash. It's fucked up. All right. Taxes are high, but you have to pay them, and you have to pay them every 3 months. You go into business. The first year you make money, you have to pay taxes. All right. And so you need to estimate that this is how much you're going to have to pay. You need to put that in your budget. So, if you know that you're going to have to pay 10,000 fucking dollars a year in taxes, it means that you need to add in $1,000 a month to your budget. Okay. Cool. Though, but the beauty is that's it. To be honest with you, when my overheads were $12,000 from a brick and mortar business, that was really hard. Okay. These overheads for this business are coming in, taxes okay. All right. Taxes included, coming in at $2,000 a month. It's not a lot of money when you think about it. Now, if your business is not generating more than $2,000 a month, then it's going to suck. All right. Because I have not told you my personal expenses, my rents, my travel expenses, all those things. When I look at my travel, when I look at my entire monthly expenses, my minimum monthly expenses are at about, and the minimum is $7,500 per month. I cannot make less than $7,500 a month, or else I will go into debt, right? So you have to know what your minimums are so that you can know what your minimum income will be. And then you can design your business with a plan based on those minimums. This is the whole purpose of having a business, is that you get to design your business based on what you really need. Now, I told you that 7,500 is my minimum, including all of my personal expenses. And this, my personal expenses include my shoes, furniture. I love furniture. I love buying things, my art, my entertainment, my personal things, Audible, Apple Music, my dog, these are all things that are included. You need to know how much money you really need to make in order to know how much income you need to make. You must also think about your dreams, because your dreams need to be financed. You cannot enjoy your business if you don't ever feel like you're going to be able to reach your dreams. That's not what this is about. So when I'm looking at my dreams, my dreams require me to make $20,000 a month so that I can have everything that I desire, right? $20,000 a month is what I need to make over the next 3 years so that I can put the down payment on my farmhouse, right? But the real dream is going to require $10 million for the investment so that I can not only buy the land, but also build the structure that I want and to maintain that structure, right? All of this stuff matters. This is real. So you have to take responsibility for it. It doesn't mean you have to do something on it every day, like, oh my God, I'm obsessing about money every day. No, you just have to know what you need to do and then create the plan to get there, and then relax into the plan and live your life around that. But you do have to know what it is you want to do. And you have to say to the universe, I want a 40-acre farmhouse in in the center of Florence, Italy, not Florence, Florida, not Florence, South Carolina. Okay, Florence, Italy, I'm just saying. All right? You have to say it. And then you have to take responsibility for it or not. Are there any questions, comments, concerns?
I have a question about taxes. And
Yes.
you said something about every 3 months. And this is maybe my third year getting ready to do taxes as a business. And I am making more and more every year, which is
A
blessing and a
blessing.
curse.
Yeah. Uh-huh. A
Mostly a
blessing.
blessing. Entirely a blessing. Okay, sure. And it's an opportunity to learn how to do my fucking taxes. So, do you just set it aside and like hide it in the mattress? Is there a way to like send payments to the government every 3 months so that you're
Yeah.
not like, oh great, $10,000. Where have I hidden my $10,000? Now I have to write you this huge check.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I got to the
You
part
make
where you
it.
estimate your income, and then I feel like there's steps after that for like setting
Yeah.
aside.
Exactly. You do all that online, Ashley, at irs.gov. You set up an account and then you go in and you make your estimated tax payments every 3 months. And they estimate your tax payments based on what you've made in the past. Okay. And so you send in that amount. And if, you don't make as much, like you find that you have, some nice write-offs, then you'll get that money back at the end of the year. Right.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And by the way, when people default on payments to you, that's a write-off, by the way, right? So if you, so I do, my programs are heavily priced, and sometimes people can't afford them. They think, oh, I'm okay, but then the global pandemic hits and they're like, I can't do it, Crystalline. That becomes a write-off, and that goes to lower your tax payment, by the way. So make sure you just keep track of everything. By the way, you can use Mint Intuit, who does Quicken, has this free program called Mint. They're great for managing money, right? Excellent.
I've been using QuickBooks
Hmm.
Self-Employed, which is from the same people who do TurboTax.
Yeah.
And I think, well, I forget whether it was free or whether it was relatively low cost to get it for the year, like $6 a month or something like that. But yeah, they estimate your taxes as well,
Yes. There
as
you
well as
go.
automatically tracking both your expenses and your income.
Yes, yes. QuickBooks is really good. I found QuickBooks to be pretty complicated. Ashley would handle it with no problem.
Yeah,
Ashley
I
would
don't
figure
know.
it out.
Like maybe I'm not using all of the features that you were trying to use, but I mean, I was just using it to generate invoices and to keep an eye on the account that I associate with my business so that it tracks any like payments in or out.
Exactly. Very good. Excellent. Yeah, QuickBooks is a really good resource, but they're the same people who make Mint. So
Yeah, it's all
and Mint,
Intuos, I guess.
yeah, Intuit. They're a good company, good service too. Mint is really a good service. QuickBooks is a really good service. Um, yes. Who else? Questions, comments, concerns? All right. So, ladies, that is going to be it for us. I would love for you all to finish making your budgets. Add in every single thing that you've spent money on. Go through all your accounts. Go through your bank account. Look at your statement. Write down everything. Go through your credit card statements, everything you've spent money on. Know exactly how much money you spend on, every month on groceries. And if you're going to 4 different grocery stores, you need to put all those receipts together. Know how much you're spending on your pets, blah, blah, blah. All that stuff goes in there. And make sure you know how much you're paying for fees to use services. If you're using PayPal for your business, you're paying fees. Your bank is charging you fees. Your credit card obviously is charging you fees. Exactly. Any gym memberships. And also keep in mind those things that come around once a year that you make a payment on. You need to put those into your budget. If you're going to do it monthly, you got to account for it every month. Just like Ashley said, you're going to have a tax bill a year from now. Where do you put that money? For me, I just make sure that I always have enough money in my account. And when I spend more than what I'm spending, I have to, then what's in my budget, I need to account for that in my mind, right? The money is there, sure, but I need to know that I'm spending more. That means my account is dipping lower than what it normally does every month. And that's the beautiful thing about Mint. It will send you a note and say, you overspent your budget on clothing, on furniture. You overspent your budget, That's kind of good. Good to know. All right, ladies, so we can go ahead and sign off. And so next week we have Katie coming to talk with us. I'm very excited about that. And then we will look more at maybe some income earning strategies in the following week, right? So how to set up your business to earn as much income as you can. And this is, our businesses are all different, but this is what you would do in a business plan. In order to have a really good business plan, you have to know that your business can make you money. That's what we need to talk about, or well, you all need to figure it out, but I'm happy to talk about it with you. I want to challenge you to look at all your income streams. Okay. All right, lovelies. I will see you next week. Bye for now. Ciao, everybody. Bye.